It's Ami. I'm here with the teacher's teacher, and today we're finding volume of prisms and pyramids, TEK 7.9a. Go ahead and grab those guided notes so you can follow along with me as we go through the following examples together. For example 1, we're going to look at finding the volume of a rectangular prism. Now remember, when finding volume of prisms or pyramids, we are going to need to determine the formulas that we're going to have to use. If you go on to the Cambium website, we've gone ahead and pulled up a 2023 released STAR test because we want you to know where to go to reference the reference materials. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to notice you have access to a ruler, references, a notepad, graph draw, line reader, zoom out, and zoom in. If you click on references, it's going to go ahead and give you the 7th grade reference materials. If you click on the little arrow right next to the left of the X, it will expand it out and make that reference material a little bit larger for you to view. And you'll notice that it's been broken down into some sections. So the first section is labeled linear equations, and then we have circumference, area, volume, and additional information. So for this case, we are going to need to look at the formula for volume of prisms and pyramids. In this case, the volume of a prism is volume equals big B times H. Now remember, big B is referring to the area of the base, and a base figure in a three-dimensional figure is 2D. Therefore, we are going to need to look at the formulas for area of those two-dimensional figures. So when we look at this first example, volume equals big B times H, we know that big B is referring to the area of the base. When looking at this three-dimensional figure, we know that our base in our rectangular prism is a rectangle. And we know that the bases in a three-dimensional figure are equal and opposite from one another. So when we're looking at the formula for the area of the rectangle, we know that the base is 10 feet and the height is 4 feet. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Volume equals 10 times 4 times, now we're going to look at this other h. And remember, this other h is referring to the height of your prism. And in this case, that height is the distance between the two bases. And in this case, it's 7 feet. Now, when we go ahead and multiply, we know that 10 times 4 is 40. And 40 times 7 is 280 cubic feet. So the volume of a rectangular prism is 280 cubic feet. Now, on the bottom of page 1, you're going to notice a link to an additional example that will show you how to find volume of rectangular prisms if you need another example to look at. Now let's look at example number 2, volume of a triangular prism. When looking at the formula, you'll notice that the formula for a triangular prism is still volume equals big B times H. Now, when looking at big B, we know that we're referring to the area of the base. And in this case, the base is a triangle. And we know this because we have two bases that are equal and opposite from one another. The formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. So we know that the dimensions of our triangle have a base of 8 centimeters and a height of 9 centimeters. Volume equals 1/2 of 8 times 9 times, again, the height of our prism. Remember, the height of our prism is the distance between the two bases, and in this case, we're looking at 16 centimeters. Now let's go in and do some mathematics. We have 1/2 of 8 times 9 is 72 times 16. We know that half of 72 is 36, and 36 times 16 is our next step. We're going to multiply 36 times 16. 6 times 6 is 36. Put down the 6 and carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 more is 21. We know we're finished with our ones place, so we're going to move over to our tens place. 1 times 6 is 6, and 1 times 3 is 3. We're going to go ahead and add, and we end up with 576 cubic centimeters. Don't forget, you have a video that you can look at if you need another example of finding volume of triangular prisms. Now let's go ahead and take a look at example number 3, volume of a pyramid. Again, we're going to need to look up the formula for volume of a pyramid. And you'll notice for a pyramid, volume equals 1/3 the area of the base times the height. So in this case, we have 1/3 big B times H. Remember, big B is referring to the area of the base. In this case, we have a pyramid, and it happens to be a square pyramid because we notice that the base has equal side lengths. They are congruent. The area of a rectangle or square is the base times the height, and in this case we know the base is 4 and the height is 4. And then we have the height of our pyramid, which is the vertical distance down. In this case, that distance is 6. When we go in and do the mathematics, volume equals 1/3 of 4 times 4 is 16. And then we have 16 times 6. Volume equals 1/3 of 16 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Put down the 6 and carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 more is 9. And we know that 1/3 of 96 is 32 centimeters cubed. And remember, if you need another example of finding volume of a pyramid, there is a video link for you to click on at the bottom of the page. Thanks for watching.